Apple's next iPad mini is shaping up to be the biggest upgrade this little tablet has ever received. And based on everything that we're hearing, it could arrive later this year. The current iPad mini 7, this launched back in October of 2024. And while it brought the A17 Pro chip and Apple Intelligence support, it kept the same basic design that we had since 2021. The iPad mini 8, well, this one looks like it's going to be a pretty different story. I mean, this iPad mini update could finally make the iPad mini more iPad Pro-like than ever. Let's start with the display because this is the headliner. Apple is widely expected to finally bring OLED technology to the iPad mini. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has reported that the mini will be the next Apple device to make the jump to OLED after the iPad Pro did back in 2024. Samsung Display has reportedly been developing panels for this device since mid-24, with the mass production ramping up at their facility. The screen may also grow slightly, moving from 8.3 inches to 8.7 inches. And OLED means individually lit pixels, which translates to truer blacks, richer colors, better contrast, and improved viewing angles. The same core technology powering every flagship iPhone and the iPad Pro, so it's long overdue on the Mini. Now, there's probably going to be a question here about refresh rate. The current iPad Mini is stuck at 60 Hz, which honestly makes it feel pretty outdated. Since even the base model iPhone 17 now ships with 120 Hz ProMotion displays, it would make sense for Apple to bring that same smoothness to the first OLED iPad Mini. That said, the Mini may use a simpler single-stack LTPS panel rather than the dual-stack LTPO technology inside of the iPad Pro, so it could potentially end up being a bit dimmer. We'll have to wait and see how Apple balances cost and performance here. My guess is it's probably not going to get 120 Hz ProMotion, but one could hope. Under the hood, the iPad Mini 8 is expected to pack the A19 Pro chip. This was actually revealed through code that Apple accidentally shared last August, where the device showed up under the codename J510 and J511. The A19 Pro already powers the iPhone Air and the rest of the entire iPhone 17 Pro lineup. The version that will most likely be headed to the iPad Mini will be the one that's the mid-tier variant, which we have in the iPhone Air, which would feature a 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU. It is built on TSMC's upgraded 3nm N3P process, and Apple says it delivers 3 times the peak GPU compute compared to its predecessor. There's also a beefed-up 16-core neural engine for all the on-device AI processing that Apple Intelligence demands. One wild card to watch, a MacRumors tipster has suggested that Apple might surprise everyone with the A20 Pro, which would be built on TSMC's next-generation 2nm process. That's a long shot, but it's not completely off the table, but again, I'm not holding out hope for that. One of the most interesting changes that is coming to the iPad Mini, however, is improved water resistance. According to Gurman, Apple has designed a completely new speaker system for this device that uses vibration-based technology instead of the traditional speaker grills that we have here. By eliminating the speaker holes entirely, Apple can now seal up the chassis much more effectively against water and dust. The current iPad Mini has no official IP rating whatsoever, so this would be a first for the lineup. Apple has actually held patents on this kind of technology for years, describing systems that vibrate flat surfaces to provide sound, or produce sound that is, essentially turning parts of the device's body into a speaker. It's a clever little engineering solution that solves 2 problems at once: better durability and cleaner, more seamless design. Now, as for pricing, the iPad Mini starts at $499, and that has been the same price since 2021 with that latest redesign, but that probably won't last. Gurman's reporting a $100 upcharge for this new model, which would push the entry point to $599. It's a pretty significant jump, but it reflects the cost of OLED technology, that new speaker system, the new chip, the water resistance, yada yada. Not sure it's worth $100, but we'll see. Gurman has also indicated in the past that Apple could consider offering a lower cost version of the Mini, or at least reconsider the $499 price point, since it competes against rival tablets that cost considerably less. If you're looking for a more affordable Apple tablet experience, the standard iPad at $329 still offers a lot of the same fundamentals like Touch ID and an all-screen design. Timing-wise, no one has really pinned down an exact launch date yet, but the second half of 2026 is looking highly probable. A Chinese leaker known as Instant Digital has claimed the OLED iPad Mini will arrive no earlier than Q3 2026, and an analyst firm, Display Supply Chain Consultants, has also echoed a 2026 timeline for an OLED Mini. The iPad Air is expected to follow with its own OLED upgrade sometime in 2027. So, To sum it all up, the iPad mini 8 is shaping up to deliver OLED with potential to support 120Hz ProMotion, but again, I don't think that's going to happen, just my personal opinion. The A19 Pro chip with a massive GPU uplift, a new vibration-based speaker system which will offer water resistance for the first time, and a slightly larger display for that OLED. The trade-off may be a higher price tag, but for fans of Apple's most portable tablet, this is likely looking like a more worthwhile upgrade compared to the last few years. But of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you're an iPad mini fan, how do you feel about an OLED version, kind of making it more of an iPad mini Pro than what it was over the last few years? And would you consider upgrading? Let me know in those comments down below. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.